Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. In this video, I'm going to talk and decode all about how you can become a solution architect or cloud architect, right? Basically. Now, you might be wondering how one can become, right? Now, there are different approaches, different ways to do it, and you might have seen different scenarios or different discussions around the same, right? But I'm going to talk on few or top three skills which are needed at least to become a solution architect. Now, it's not going to be something like you as a solution architect, you must know everything. And in many cases, that is also expected that you should have knowledge as well as expertise and experience on all the different cloud services, right? Be it Azure, AWS, or GCP, or any other cloud, right? Now, each public cloud, they do have almost same and many services are the same, not 100% same, but there are up to 70 to 80% similarity between each of those services, right? So be it compute, storage, networking, security, and all others as well. But definitely you have to, or you got to decode them, right? So now I'm going to decode and talk about how you can become one, right? And what are those top three skills? Majorly, I'm going to focus on those top three skills that you got to become solution architect or cloud architect that is going to give you a next stage or next age in your career, basically, right? And this is not going to be a technical one, but this is going to be kind of both technical side and non-technical side as well, right? So if I have to become one, then what are the steps I should take? And where I should start, right? And how I can go ahead and do that, right? That is needed here, right? Now, many people say that, okay, if I have to become one, then I should do certifications and trainings, and I would also need to get into the projects and work on, right? That is also correct one, or that's also correct path, right? But still, you need to build a mindset as well, right? So, which is also part of behavioral skills, right? That also needs to be built. And upon having all of that skills or understanding, then definitely you can go ahead and become one, right? So I'm going to show a presentation and talk a bit about top three skills. What are those and how you can follow the path, how you can go ahead and do that. Definitely, path is not going to be the same for each and every individual because each individual is having a different skills, different experience, and they need to go through the different learnings, right? Now, for me, it is going to be different for anyone or for you, right? It's going to be different one, right? So for that, also you need to understand and take the next steps, right? So let me share my screen where I have a presentation, and that's going to be pretty straightforward to understand as well. All right. So what are those top three skills to become a solutions architect or cloud solution architect, right? So those are mentioned here, which includes compute storage and networking, right? Now you might say, okay, so I know these skills, but what you are going to decode it, right? So to decode it, I'm going to walk you through on each of these skills, right? How you can go ahead and do that. So let's talk about the first, which is a compute one, right? And this is not exhaustive list, right? Or this is not an exhaustive features or capabilities that each cloud provider do have, right? So under compute, you can see there are a lot many things, starting from virtual machines and containers and serverless capabilities. You need to learn scalability, resilience, cost effectiveness across the compute solutions. And if you have to call it out as a key areas to focus and build a skill set or foundation around it, including virtual machines under infrastructure as a service, containers and Kubernetes across platform as a service, right? And the serverless as well, where in the each cloud platform, including I have given some name here. You can see AWS Lambda, Azure Functions, GCP Cloud Functions as well. And to take an example, which you can choose between VM scale sets or serverless for the web apps or whatever it is. Now, how you are going to design this one, right? Now, as I mentioned, you have to be expert and have a strong understanding and skills on compute storage and networking, right? So if you have these skills at least at the top three on your skill set or skill list, definitely you would be able to do the designing and resiliency and cost effective solutions for the projects or the capabilities that you are going to build, right? So now how you are going to achieve that, how you are going to become one, right? So that's also important, right? Now you understand I can do this and that, but how I can get the real experience, right? To do that, you get you get to do hands-on labs, hands-on experience. That's more important, right? Now everyone says you need hands-on experience, but you really don't get it, right? And why you don't get it? Either you are not focusing on gaining real-time experience, and you might also experience that you are not getting projects, right? If you don't have right set of projects, then definitely you are not going to get that one as well, right? And then you got to find a way to uh, how I can get hands-on experience, right? So to get that one, definitely each cloud provider do have their hands-on labs, hands-on experiences that you can go ahead and learn and experience it, right? Definitely that's not going to be the enterprise grade one, but still is going to give you an understanding, which is going to give you clarity how actually each solution or each capability is built and worked upon, right? And then benchmarking workloads, architecting for elasticity and availability. So these are the few of the areas that I mentioned under compute, but compute is not only under these three capabilities, but there are many other capabilities that you can build in, right? To sum up, you need to do all other capabilities and understand and learn from the ground, right? And out of this is going to be the fundamental as well. So if you know the fundamental of each area, right, which I mentioned here, compute storage and networking, then definitely that's going to give you an edge and standing out of maybe 100 or thousands people across, right? So that's more important here. So this was all about the compute one, right? And now you might say, okay, why only cloud in, right? It compute capacities can be built in private data centers or private cloud as well, or it could be built in hybrid as well. Definitely that can be built and that is possible too. And we are seeing that companies do have their hybrid as well as private clouds as well for different needs and requirements, right? So even if you have that capability and if you have skills and experience from that side as well, definitely that's going to help you to achieve the expertise in the cloud computing as well, right? So computing capabilities in the cloud basically by be it serverless, be it infrastructure as services or platform as service or serverless capabilities, right? So definitely that's going to help you and master that as well. So let's look at the next one, which is a storage, right? So storage, this is something which every business, every system, every capacity is being used, right? And every business is relying on it, right? As soon as we have a data and we wanted to do analytics, process it, and use it for business, definitely we would store it either into the on-premises private cloud or a public cloud, right? Now to do that, definitely you also need to understand what are the underlying infrastructure, what are the capabilities, what are the capacities that we are going to use and leverage for storage, right? How those can be used, right? And basis on that, how those can help us and the business overall to meet our needs, business needs, right? And we will not also end up spending a lot of money, lot of efforts, lot of everything that we are going to leverage and use for, right? For example, you wanted to store files and data that is not being used heavily, then definitely you can put that data into the archive storage somewhere, and that data can be used as when needed. But if there is applications and system, definitely you got to design a solution which needs to meet the business requirements and systems. That's going to be either S3, Azure Blob, GCS, or it could be Azure Disks, right? or EBS in AWS. File share has or file storage has EFS or Azure Files or File Store, right? Now, each of these capabilities are also available. To understand that and to sum up with, you need to make sure which are the capabilities, what are those capabilities, how those can help our requirements, customers' needs, and business needs overall. And basis on that, you can design a solution. And not only designing the solutions, but you need to look across the well-architected framework pillars, right, including cost efficiency, cost optimization, performance efficiency, right, along with the security, compliance, and all other capabilities as well. So that should also be meeting our needs basically, right? And to become an expert, you can see given some examples, including understanding performance tiers, learning lifecycle policies, right? And practicing or doing the hands-on on backup, DR, and replication strategies, how that can be built and deployed across, right? Because that's the one thing that's going to give you an edge and understanding how you can do the replication of the data, right? If something goes wrong, if something is not working as expected, right? How you are going to back up the data, how disaster recovery is going to be happening, how DR is planned, right? That's more important to do as well, because every business needs and is relying on at least these three capabilities, right? Including compute, storage, and networking. At least, right? Or at minimum, I would say. Definitely not only these three, but there are many other services in the cloud if we have to take an example and use any of the services, right? So that way it is going to be given, and that's the minimum skill set, I would say. Okay, so let's move to the next one, which is a networking, right? So in the networking, which is going to be a backbone across the cloud as well as on-premises and private cloud everywhere, right? So if we have the appropriate networking capacities and capabilities implemented and set up, be it a private cloud, public cloud, right, or VPN, Express Route, or Direct Connect, right? And at the same time, we would have security capabilities, including load balancing, gateways, and firewalls, and how you are going to bring those together and bind together for designing whether it is a hybrid cloud connectivity with the VPN or Express Route, or within the cloud network or cloud capacities only. Right? To do that, definitely you should have good understanding, not only understanding, but you should have great capabilities or great experience that's going to give you upon doing all the hands-on capacities or hands-on practice, right? Basically, to build the secure network topologies, then understanding routing, DNS, and firewalls to optimize the latency, redundancy, and the cost as well, right? So as I mentioned, there are different pillars of well-architected framework, and those are the pillars where you you can reference and take the next steps to understand, and you would be able to take and build the solutions around it, or by following and referencing all of that capacities and capabilities, right? So that's how it is going to help you to take it ahead. And basis on that, you get an experience as well, right? So that's also important, how you are going to think about it, how you are going to build capacity, how you are going to take the steps that you wanted to build around, right? That's how it is going to be building your strong questioning as well as analysis for the needs that you are going to build. And the next one is how you're going to become expert in the cloud skills, right? So as I mentioned, hands-on practice in AWS, Azure, or GCP. So these are the few names, but definitely wherever you are, I mean, in which area, be it any cloud provider or any technology that you are in, definitely you can learn, export, as well as do the hands-on experiences. That's going to give you an edge and stand out across the others, right? Also work on real-time projects or real-world projects where it's going to give you a complete and clarity and understanding about it, right? And stay updated with the cloud technologies, how those are being enhanced, how each cloud provider is building new capacities, new capabilities, and how they are helping customers and companies basically to uh, sustain as well as grow in their businesses, right? And the last part or last point here mentioned is collaborating in different communities and different teams within organization as well if you get a chance, and not only chance, but I would suggest to be a part of their teams to understand and learn how they are working, what they are doing. That's also important to know and understand, right? So that's how you will become and you will gain knowledge and skills, and gradually you can get into their teams and start working on it, right? So that's also important. So that was the last one here, and hope you will learn something. Hope you learned something that is more important, right? And hope you get an idea what you need to do, how you can do it, what you have to do it, and that's how it is going to build you a strong skills and foundation, which is going to help you to become one, right? So these are the top three skills that I mentioned here, and there are many other skills as well, definitely. So there is one more skill, which is a behavioral skill, how you are going to approach, how you are going to ask questions, how you're going to take the steps, right? And to understand the customers or clients' pain points and their problems. And that's when it is going to help you to become one, right? So, yep, that is what I wanted to show you and talk about. And hope you understand it, learned it, and don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel as well, so that everyone and whoever is looking for the same, definitely they would also learn something and take the next steps, right? So, yep, that's all for this one. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.